Our next candidate is Jonathan Vineyard. Jonathan, you have 2 minutes to introduce yourself.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I very much appreciate it. As you know, my name is Jonathan Vineyard, and I'm running for a spot on the North Bend City Council. Recently, I believe North Bend has found itself at a crossroad, the way it's always been, in the new direction that what I believe can bring brighter days ahead. I think the city needs leaders that are willing to fight for our future. I know many of you may not know me, but I've never backed down from a fight, and I don't intend to start at this juncture in my life. North Bend needs new ideas to propel our city forward, and with over 14 years of combined military and law enforcement experience, I know I possess the qualities to do just that. I grew up here. I actually graduated in Marshfield 2001, went to Southwestern Oregon Community College on a scholarship for basketball. After that, Northwest Christian College, and obtained my bachelor's degree in business. Then I joined the Army, and I was there for almost a decade. Got out. Now I'm in public safety, and I know that's been a pretty hot topic button, and I think it'll continue to be, and it's an issue that's important to everyone, and I think it should be. And as a current law enforcement officer, I have working knowledge of what it takes to serve our community on a daily basis. I work for an agency that covers over 360 times the amount of square miles that the city of North Bend has, with fewer patrol officers to do so. And we do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So I know I can help to solve the public safety issues that are plaguing our current administration. The goals that the community has for law enforcement can be reached while still providing the citizens with excellent police services. I believe public safety is of the utmost importance, and I think with my leadership and understanding of public safety, our city can have the police officers present that it deserves while working within our budget and keeping unwanted hands out of the citizens' pockets.
Question: how would you improve communication between the city government and the citizens?
Well, in this day and age of technology, as you see, we're on Zoom here. There's a plethora of ways to communicate with everybody nowadays. It's not just the old-fashioned turn on the TV, listen to the news, or get the newspaper to your door. I believe we have to meet the citizens of North Bend where they're at, where they reside, especially in a pandemic of COVID, where we're told to stay inside and stay safe, and people are kind of sheltering to try to do just that, to follow the instructions so we can have a healthy society. So you have tons of things at your fingertips: the internet, you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have Zoom meetings. I think right now the city council, kind of out of necessity, maybe not foresight, but they started doing the city council meetings live via YouTube, and I think that's a great thing, and I think that should continue. But ultimately, it's just finding an avenue that reaches the citizens where they're at.
Okay. The second question: what should be the city's approach to the problem of the unhoused?
The city's approach to the problem of the unhoused. Well, I think it starts by having conversations and real conversations, putting out an olive branch to the people that are in that situation, asking what their needs are, asking their perspective on things. I also believe that we need to reach out to the people who have tried this in the past in terms of creating affordable housing. I know one person in particular that I talked to not long ago owns land close to the school, the high school and the junior high. Told me he reached out to the North Bend City Council because he wanted to develop some affordable apartments in that area and was told no because of zoning. Now, I don't sit on the city council, so I don't know the exact ins and outs and rules of making a decision on what changes what in terms of zoning for any particular build. But I can't imagine it's a super difficult thing. From what I understand, it's just a majority vote and you can change some things. So for people to reach out and have that idea and want there to be affordable housing for folks in the city, and to get turned down without any kind of discussion is kind of disheartening. I just think that it starts with a conversation and we build from there.
Okay, thank you. The next question: given the continuing crisis of global climate change, what would be your approach to protecting the environment?
I don't know if I have a good answer for you there. I mean, I think the community as a whole is doing the things that we're supposed to be doing in terms of whatever's passed down from federal and state governments and issuing. I think they have more of a hand in it than we do here at the local level. But I mean, I've already seen businesses around town switching to straws that are paper, takeout items that are easy to recycle, things like that. I think it's just doing your part and making a cognizant decision of, you know, kind of lowering your footprint and trying to lessen your waste.
Okay, thank you. The fourth question, is there waste in the city budget? If so, where would you make cuts and why?
I'm sorry, did you say waste or ways?
Waste.
Okay. I don't know if I necessarily call it waste. I would call it wanting to stay local. And the reason I say that is in terms of the dispatch center that we have currently in North Bend. It's a secondary dispatch center. It's not a primary like Coos Bay and the Coos County Sheriff's Office have. And what that means is when there's a 911 call that comes in, if you are in the city of North Bend, no matter what, it gets relayed to either Coos County Sheriff's Office or Coos Bay Dispatch, and they have to initially take that call, figure out where you're calling from, and then transfer it to North Bend. So you lose this valuable time of, in case of emergency, that I've been to many times on my shifts, that it could mean life or death. And hopefully it's not, but it could be. And that's an important thing. And not only that, it frees up a significant amount of money in our budget. I've heard anywhere from $250,000 a year up to $1 million. I can't really get a straight answer. I've tried to research it as much as I can, unfortunately. I've even called the city and requested numbers without a callback. But I believe there's 5 dispatchers. And if you take into account their wages, their insurance, their PERS, if you just round it off to $100,000 each, that's $500,000, not to mention the servers that it takes and the equipment and the computers and the programs in order to dispatch. So right there off the top, I think there's a significant amount of money that's, like, again, I said, not necessarily wasted, because I believe in having jobs, and I'm glad that these local folks have these jobs. But I also have to look at it from a perspective of the city at large. And we're kind of in a crisis with our budget, as seen in the public safety fee here lately that the citizens took to a vote. So to me, that's one place I can see an impact immediately and start right away, saving money for the city.
And finally, you have 1 minute to tell us anything you want to.
Thank you. So this year being the year that it is, I believe that it's super important year to vote at the local level. If you're someone who wants to change and is tired of the long-standing method of the way it's always been done, I would ask you to consider checking my name on the ballot so you can have your voice be heard in the city council chambers. I'll bring a fresh perspective and new eyes to the same old obstacles. And together, I believe we can tackle the issues of budget and spending, council transparency, public safety, and all other concerns that you, the citizens, have. I will ask the hard questions and not just rubber stamp someone else's agendas. I don't believe in taking any sort of sides. I look at it from the perspective that I bring, and going to be fair and impartial and moral and legal when I do so. As a community, I think we can take back our city and leave it for better for generations to come. I urge you to let your voice be heard, and I ask that you vote Jonathan Vineyard to represent you this November.